obviously we move away from league action now, 2 cup games coming in thick and fast. Looking back, reflecting on your time, how do you assess your first 6 months in the job at Chester?
Really hectic all the time. Look, really pleased with where we're at, and frustrated on the back of Saturday's result. The fact that we're frustrated being in a playoff position, 28 points from 18 games, probably reflects the potential and at times what we've shown, what we might be able to do. So enjoyed it. Feel like we've improved, and I think you can see that over the course of the blocks. In the first 6 games, like I said, 7 points. The second block of game, 9 points. This most recent block of games, 12 points. We're on an upwards curve, and while this continues, it's an exciting place to be. I think where I at times after rein everything in is that we can get very excited when we win 3 games on the bounce, when we only lose 1 away, and we can constantly be looking upwards, which has got to be the ultimate aim and the ambition for a club of our size and our profile. But there is a process in place of taking a team that finished 16th last season, had a struggling away record, dwindling crowds at times last year, all the things that we want to improve on, with them all being a byproduct of one another. They are all related. Ultimately what happens out there on the pitch will dictate crowds. Got to be pleased with that improvement, and at times I can be the way I was after the game Saturday and then reflect and go, no, we're okay. But it's about that momentum that the players have brought, and look, they're a good group, very talented, you can see, but they are invested in this project at Chester Football Club. They are driving it. They want success as much as anyone that's sitting in the stands. When you've got a group like that, what they can do, we've got to try and unlock that potential. But it's also important to reflect and go, yeah, we're okay with certainly where we're at and the direction that we feel like we're going in.
Let's look a little bit closer at these 2 cup games coming up. Obviously tonight you've got the Cheshire Senior Cup first round, going back to your former club, Runcorn Linnets, a chance to perhaps rotate the squad, use some of those younger players that you mentioned on Saturday post-match, and then obviously the FA Trophy, Lancaster at home on Saturday, and for clubs of our size and at our level, an opportunity to perhaps even get to Wembley.
The Cheshire Senior Cup probably isn't the competition that anyone speaks about, and I'm not going to lie and sit here and say we've targeted it as a competition to really go after. That's not the case. However, what the competition gives you is well-timed games when you might need them, and the game tonight against good opposition, a club that I'm very fond of, that I know very well, and a group of players that we all know each other inside out. It gives us what we need for probably a group of players at the moment. So what you'll see is players that have had limited opportunity in the busy spell that we've had, the Saturday, Tuesday relentless fixture programme, alongside players perhaps from the youth team that have done really well, that the next bit of their development is putting them in a senior environment and testing them. And we aren't playing against nobodies, we're playing against a very good side at step 4. So the competition, not that important in the context of the season, but the games at certain points are, and this comes at a really good time where there's those 6 or 7 senior players that maybe haven't had minutes in the last fortnight or so, that it becomes better than a training session. A chance to look at some of those loan players that are out on loan, that are obviously eligible, get them back in our environment, and obviously, like I say, those younger players. The FA Trophy, every club's got a decision to make, and for me, I don't see why we wouldn't be full tilted it and try and have a real push in the competition. The FA Cup, it's financial rewards. The FA Trophy might be football rewards. We are at tier 2 in the competition, the National League sides being the highest ranked. Why wouldn't we want to test ourselves in a competition that, like you say, eventually culminates in a trip at Wembley? So for us, we're in a really good place. We want to keep that winning momentum going across the competitions, but then especially on Saturday we want the FA Trophy. We want progress in that competition the way that we did in the FA Cup for a whole variety of reasons. So yeah, 2 very different games, very important, but for very different reasons.
Obviously the past few weeks, I'm looking forward to the next few weeks. It's certainly relentless at the minute, Saturday, Tuesdays, non-stop. You've had to make some decisions with players coming back from injury now, and big decisions on your squad, leaving players out and using them at the right times. Are you happy with where the group is at the minute?
I think it's the hardest bit, and at times conveying that message, not internally, we speak very openly with players and very honestly, but externally you don't always get the platform to discuss squad selections, and it isn't always right to. We have a decent squad. We have talented squad. We feel we have good depth, we have balance, we have a multitude of options in different positions. What you've seen in recent weeks, we've had 19 to pick 16 from. When you're in the good moment that we've been in Saturday, Tuesday and winning games back to back, you want to not make too many changes, but equally you can see physically the effect of that schedule, if you like, in recent weeks. So what we believe in is that we don't want players excluded. You don't want there to be players in the building that have no pathway through to the team, the squad, and equally we want to make sure that players are playing. So we've done that with our loans. Been really, really pleased with our programme of loaning players out, that when the pathway has been blocked, whether that is a younger player, whether that is a player around the group, we've got them out playing. You've seen that across different clubs. It's difficult to dictate sometimes about levels because there has to be a demand for a player in a particular position, but game time's been really important. In the same way, the attitude of the players not involved been really, really pleasing, but when we are on an unbeaten run and we're picking up points, it's very, very difficult to change too much. The hardest bit at this level can be turning it into 16 players, because that's 5 subs and the maker be your bench. We want to be really attacking, we want to make sure we've got defensive cover, we want to make sure we've got like for like swaps and the ability to change shape. That equation, getting that down to 5 players, isn't easy, but it can't always be about what players have done in the past. It can't always be what has happened in previous seasons. We've got to pick on form and performance Saturday to Tuesday and then again for Saturday. And what you've seen from the 16 that have been involved, the 11 within that, is they've done very, very well. I've got no doubts that should I need to call upon anyone else in our squad, they'll maintain the high standards that have been set by the teammates over recent weeks. So look, we'd like to improve the squad, because you want to improve when you're strong, but delighted with the output of the group that we've got, and really looking forward to the busy spell continuing over the upcoming weeks.